Jake Morrison was a simple mechanic working on Earth Station 7. He fixed engines and repaired machines every day. His life was normal and quiet, but today everything was about to change. It started when strange alarms rang through the station. An unknown ship appeared on the radar. The ship was damaged and spinning out of control. Jake watched as it crashed near the station's docking bay. The station commander ordered everyone to stay back, but Jake felt something strange. He needed to check that ship. He grabbed his tools and ran toward the crash site before anyone could stop him. The ship was unlike anything Jake had ever seen. It was made of silver metal that glowed with purple light. Smoke poured out from the damaged hull. Jake forced open the main door and climbed inside. What he saw next made him freeze in shock. A girl was lying on the floor, but she was not human. Her skin was pale blue and her hair was pure white. Silver blood pooled around her body. Her eyes were closed and she was barely breathing. Jake knelt beside her. His hands were shaking. He had never seen an alien before. The girl's eyes suddenly opened. They were bright purple and filled with pain. She whispered something in a strange language. Then she spoke in broken English. "Help me, please." Jake called for help on his radio. Within minutes, the medical team arrived. They carried the girl to the medical bay. Jake followed them, running as fast as he could. In the medical room, the doctors worked quickly. They scanned her body with their machines. The head doctor turned to Jake with a worried face. "Her blood type is completely unknown to us. We have nothing that can save her. She is dying." Jake looked at the girl through the window. Her purple eyes found his. Even through the glass, he could feel her fear. She was alone in a strange place. She was dying, and nobody could help her. Something inside Jake made a decision. He did not think about the danger. He did not think about the consequences. He only thought about saving her life. Jake pushed open the door and walked into the medical room. "Use my blood," he said to the shocked doctors. Everyone stared at him like he was crazy, but Jake's mind was made up. He was going to save her, no matter what happened next. The doctors looked at Jake like he had lost his mind. The head doctor shook his head quickly. "That is impossible. Human blood and alien blood cannot mix. It will kill both of you." But Jake stepped closer to the dying girl. Her purple eyes were fading. She had maybe 5 minutes left to live. "We have to try something," Jake said firmly. "She will die if we do nothing." The head doctor looked at his team. They had no other options. Every second counted now. He finally nodded. "Fine, but this is your choice. I cannot promise you will survive this." They connected Jake to the alien girl with tubes and machines. His red blood flowed through the tube toward her body. Everyone in the room watched the monitors with nervous faces. A deep voice boomed through every speaker in the station. "This is the Andrelian Imperial Fleet. Surrender Princess Zara immediately, or we will destroy everything." Jake looked at Zara with fear in his eyes. "What have I done?" he whispered. The station commander burst into the medical room. His face was red with anger and fear. "What is happening here? Those warships outside can destroy us in seconds." Princess Zara stood tall and touched a device on her wrist. She spoke in a commanding voice. "This is Princess Zara. I am safe. Stand down all weapons immediately." The hologram of a huge alien warrior appeared in the room. He wore golden armor and had serious eyes. "My princess, are you hurt? Who touched you?" Zara looked at Jake and then back at the warrior. "General Karn, this human saved my life. He gave his blood to me." The general's face changed from anger to complete shock. His eyes went wide. "His blood? But that means the ancient prophecy is true." Jake was confused and scared. "What prophecy? Someone please tell me what is going on." Zara turned to face Jake. Her purple eyes were glowing now. "Jake Morrison, in my culture, blood bonding only works between two beings who share a deep connection. For thousands of years, no alien race could bond with Andrelians. But our ancient texts spoke of another race. A race from a blue planet whose blood could bond with ours. "What does this mean for me?" Jake asked nervously. General Karn spoke through the hologram. "It means you are now royalty. You are bonded to our princess, and our enemies will come for you." Suddenly, the space around the station exploded with bright light. More ships appeared from nowhere, but these ships were different. They were black with red markings and looked dangerous. A soldier shouted in panic, "The Vex Dominion found us! They are attacking!" The black ships immediately opened fire. The Andrelian warships fired back. A massive space battle started right outside the station. Explosions lit up the darkness of space like fireworks. Princess Zara grabbed Jake's arm tightly. "We must leave now. They are not here for me anymore. They are here for you." "Why me?" Jake shouted over the sound of explosions shaking the station. Jake and Zara ran through the shaking corridors of the station. Explosions were getting closer and louder. People were screaming and running everywhere. They reached the escape pod bay. Zara pushed Jake inside a small silver pod and jumped in after him. She pressed buttons on the control panel with fast fingers. "Hold on tight," she said. The pod launched into space just as a massive explosion destroyed the station behind them. Jake watched through the window as his home for 5 years turned into fire and debris. "My friends," Jake whispered with tears in his eyes. "They evacuated before the explosion," Zara said while flying the pod through the battle. "But Jake, we have bigger problems now." She was right. Laser fire from both sides filled the space around them. Andrelian golden ships fought against Vex black ships. The battle was everywhere. Suddenly their pod shook violently. A bright blue beam locked onto them. They could not move. "No!" Zara shouted. She tried to break free, but the pod was too weak. A massive black ship pulled them inside with the beam. The pod landed hard in a dark hangar. Armed soldiers in black armor surrounded them immediately. Their weapons were pointed at Jake and Zara. A tall figure walked toward them slowly. He removed his helmet. His face was covered in scars, and his eyes were cold like ice. "Princess Zara, how nice to see you again," the man said with an evil smile. Zara's voice was filled with hate. "Commander Drax!" Commander Drax looked at Jake like he was looking at treasure. "And you must be the famous human. The one with the special blood." He walked closer to Jake. "Your blood will help us destroy the Andrelian Empire forever." Drax turned to his soldiers. "Take them to the cells. Prepare the human for blood extraction." The soldiers grabbed Jake and Zara roughly. They were thrown into a dark prison cell. The heavy door closed behind them with a loud bang. Jake sat on the cold floor. His hands were shaking. "This is really bad. We are going to die here." But Zara was not scared. She was smiling. Jake looked at her in confusion. "Why are you smiling?" Zara touched her wrist device secretly. "Because my people are tracking us. And also, you need to know something important about our blood bond." "What about it?" Jake asked. "You are not just a regular human anymore, Jake." Jake looked at his hands. They were glowing with purple light. Jake stared at his glowing hands in shock. The purple light was getting brighter. He could feel something strange moving through his body like electricity. "What is happening to me?" Jake asked with fear in his voice. Zara moved closer to him. "When two beings share a blood bond, they do not just share blood. They share abilities. My strength is now your strength. My speed is now your speed." Jake felt different. His body felt lighter and stronger. He could hear sounds from far away. He could see better in the dark cell. "I can feel everything," Jake whispered. Suddenly, alarms started ringing throughout the ship. Explosions echoed in the distance. The walls shook. "Impossible," Drax whispered. "Humans cannot use Andrelian powers." "This one can," Zara said proudly. She grabbed Jake's arm. "Run now!" They burst out of the cell and ran down the corridor. More soldiers appeared from every direction. Jake did not know how, but his body knew what to do. He moved faster than he ever moved before. He dodged laser blasts without thinking. His instincts were controlling him. "How am I doing this?" Jake shouted while running. "The bond," Zara shouted back. "My combat training is now in your mind." They reached the hangar bay. Dozens of Vex ships and soldiers blocked their path to freedom. "Too many," Jake said. Zara took his hand. Their hands both glowed with bright purple energy. "Not for us," Zara said. "Together, Jake. Trust me." Suddenly, Jake felt Zara's thoughts inside his mind. They moved as one person, fighting and dodging perfectly together.
Jake and Zara fought side by side like they had trained together for years. Their movements were perfectly synchronized. When Jake punched left, Zara kicked right. When Zara jumped, Jake covered her with his shield. The Vex soldiers could not keep up with them. One by one, they fell to ground. Jake felt powerful and alive. This was nothing like his old life as a mechanic. They reached a small fighter ship in the corner of the hangar. Zara jumped into the pilot's seat, and Jake sat beside her. She started the engines, and they roared to life. Commander Drax appeared one last time. His face was filled with rage. "You can run, human, but the galaxy is not big enough to hide you. Everyone wants your blood." Zara pushed the controls forward. The ship blasted through the hangar doors into open space. The cold vacuum of space surrounded them. Outside was chaos. A massive battle filled the entire area. Andrelian golden ships fought against Vex black ships. Explosions created bright lights everywhere. Debris floated in all directions. "There!" Zara pointed ahead. A huge flagship appeared through the smoke. It was so big it looked like a floating city made of gold. Weapons covered every surface, and shields glowed around it. "That is my father's command ship, the Imperial Star. Once we reach it, you will be safe." But 3 Vex fighters spotted them. They locked on and fired missiles. The missiles streaked toward them with bright trails. "Hold on," Zara shouted. Jake closed his eyes. Then something amazing happened. His mind connected with the ship systems. He could feel the engines. He could feel the controls. It was like the ship was part of his body now. His hands moved the controls. The ship spun and twisted in ways that should be impossible. The missiles missed him completely and hit the Vex fighters instead. All 3 enemy ships exploded. Zara stared at Jake with her mouth open. "How did you do that?" "I do not know," Jake said. He was just as surprised as she was. "I just felt what to do." They flew into the Imperial Star's hangar and landed safely. The doors closed behind them. They were finally safe. Jake and Zara stepped out of the ship. Hundreds of Andrelian soldiers stood in formation waiting for them, and in front stood a tall figure wearing golden armor and a crown. Emperor Theron, Zara's father. Emperor Theron walked toward them slowly. His golden armor shined under the lights. His face was strong and serious. Every soldier stood perfectly still, watching their emperor. Jake did not know what to do. Should he bow? Should he speak? His heart was beating fast. The emperor stopped right in front of Jake. He studied Jake's face for a long moment. His eyes were powerful and intense. Then Emperor Theron did something that shocked everyone. He knelt down on one knee before Jake. Every soldier in the hangar gasped. Then they all knelt down too. Hundreds of warriors bowing before a simple human mechanic. "What are you doing?" Jake stammered. He felt uncomfortable seeing an emperor kneel. Emperor Theron looked up with tears in his eyes. "Thank you, Jake Morrison of Earth. You saved my daughter. You saved my only child. You saved my family." The emperor stood up and placed both hands on Jake's shoulders. "According to our ancient laws, you are now part of the royal family. You are now a prince of the Andrelian Empire." Jake's mouth dropped open. "I am what?" Zara stepped beside him and took his hand. She was smiling. "Welcome to royalty, Jake. But there is something else you need to know." "What else could there possibly be?" Jake asked. His mind was already overwhelmed. Emperor Theron's face turned very serious. "Our scientists studied the data from your blood bond. Jake Morrison, your blood does not just heal Andrelians. Your blood can unite all alien races. It can end wars. It can bring peace to the entire galaxy. Suddenly a dark voice echoed through the hangar. Everyone turned to look at the view screens. A hologram appeared. A mysterious figure stood in shadows wearing a dark hood. The voice sounded wrong, like 3 people speaking at once. I am the Archon of the Shadow Collective. And Jake Morrison, we are coming for you. Your blood will be ours. And when we have it, we will rule everything. The hologram flickered and disappeared. The hangar was completely silent. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Jake looked at Zara, and then at Emperor Theron. His voice was quiet. This keeps getting worse, does it not? Zara squeezed his hand tight. Yes, but you are not alone anymore. You have me. You have my father. You have an entire empire ready to protect you. Emperor Theron stepped closer. His voice was strong. The question is, Jake Morrison, are you ready for what comes next?